Hey everybody, this is Thunder in the spirit of Geronimo and Crazy Horse, coming to you from Sandy Valley, Nevada, and the Sundowner Ranch. Sitting here in my trailer. I did a lot of reflecting today, just sitting on my back porch here, actually sitting in the back doorway because there's steps out there, and just gazing out at the magnificence of the sky, grandfather sky, grandmother earth, the mountains, the chaparral, the jackrabbits, the birds. The sky was absolutely magnificent out here today. It was like living inside a crystalline glass or something, clouded. Incredible sunset, and the smell of the desert. I grew up in the desert. I was raised in the desert. Anybody that has read my book Emergence knows all about how I was raised, because it's actually basically it's a shaman's Bible disguised as a novel, and my life, a good deal of my life, is in that book. I don't know, sometimes I just well up when I think about my life as a young man and roaming around the desert, smelling that desert smell, feeling that feeling you get, that homey feeling you get when the sun starts going down and it's still kind of warm out before it turns cold, and the roosters start crowing, and you hear a dog bark in the distance. When you're out in the desert, you can hear a dog bark 10 miles away, you know? And I'm living on the side of a hill out here right now, and I can look down on the valley, and it's hard to explain the feelings that you get of the things that you used to do when you were a young man, or even, just approaching manhood, when you hung out with your friends and you only had a few really tight friends, and you had your dog and you tracked around the countryside and swam in canals and streams and climbed mountains and dove from cliffs into canyon lakes, hiked the Apache Trail, had girlfriends. Man, that's something I miss. I don't know why I haven't allowed myself to have. I'm going to get real personal here. I don't know why I haven't allowed myself to have another woman in my life. It's been a while, and I think the reason might be because of the fact that in order for me to be with a woman, she would have to be a shaman. She would have to be a shaman. She would have to understand where I'm coming from, and the only way that she could understand where I'm coming from would be if she was a shamaness. And that's basically the part in Emergence, my twin soul, is actually something that came from my heart, okay, from my the spirit of my heart, okay, and I put it into words in a book. The ideal the ideal mate for a shaman is a shamaness. And I haven't found that yet. Or at least, the very least, somebody that would want to be in training, okay, let's say to be a shamaness. But in the book Emergence, it's two people that are already in that realm, and they meet. Kind of getting off on a tangent here, aren't I? Anyway, getting back to that feeling of childhood and the feeling of young manhood. And do you guys remember what it was like? I mean, see, that's the joy. That's the joy that we had when we were young. We did a lot of things. We went, most of us probably lived in a more countrified atmosphere when we were younger. At least, let's put it this way, the cities weren't as big and there were probably no sidewalks. And it was a more homey feeling. And remember that twilight feeling out there, playing with your friends, or that feeling of like when you were coming home late after trekking around the countryside, or going fishing, or going hunting, or in my case, doing some tracking, and with my dog Misty and my sheepdog. Those are the kind of things that we forget about, okay, when we get older. We forget about the carefree, fun life that we had when we were young. Okay, sure, we had hard times, and there were times that were difficult. And we had, there was a lot of corruption back then, but I'm telling you, it was nothing like it is now, okay? This world is just freaking bizarre now. It's gone totally off the deep end. And unless you revisit, and that's, I guess, what I'm doing now, unless you revisit that feeling, and the only way that I could get to it was to get out of the city and get back out in the desert in a very remote spot that was almost like my childhood. It is like my childhood. And so as I was sitting on the back step of my trailer here that I just refurbished, and the sun was going down, and the sky was streaked like a painter took a paintbrush and smeared the most amazing colors across the sky with the backdrop of the mountains, and the dog barking in the distance and the roosters crowing, and that's it. No city sounds, no cars, no. The airplanes here even fly way, way up. They don't come down low, except the ones that land in the little airport here. But do you remember what it was like when you were younger? Do you remember what it was like to be carefree? Do you remember what it was like to go to the malt shop? Do you remember what it was like to have a girlfriend and take her to the drive-in, or go to the drive-in with your boyfriend? Simpler times. And it's just gotten so out of control. It's gotten so bizarre. The world is totally bizarre now. It's totally off the deep end. It's totally out of balance. It's totally intense. And we spend a lot of our time thinking and talking about all the things that these friggin' morons do that run the show. Or at least they think they run the show. They don't really run the show. And when you get out to a place like this where I am right now, those people become really insignificant because you're concentrating on all your surroundings and you're reliving your young manhood. I'm just speaking personally here, and anybody can do this. That's why I am so into the Campfire Council and the people in it. And I notice that there's a lot of people that are starting to trickle in now. I mean, not a lot, but more than, people are, when I talk about it in my videos, I guess, I haven't really been pushing membership or anything, but when I talk about it, I guess people wonder what it is. And when they go on there, they find that there's a bunch of kindred people that are really concerned about, not only are they concerned about world affairs and the way we're living now, but they're concerned about revisiting exactly what I'm talking about and being in that frame of mind where there was no worry and there's no... And you know what? These people, these monstrous outlaws that run this country and the world, their day's coming. Their day's going to come, and it's going to come soon. And so you have to keep that mindset of what it was like for you when you were happy, and not let this maelstrom of insanity engulf you. Don't let it engulf you. And I know it's a lot harder when you're living in the city and when you got cars surrounding you and pollution and noise. That's another thing I noticed when I was as I'm out here. The amount of incredible noise pollution in the cities. Is it planned that way? Is it planned, is this some kind of master plan to like... I think this is what knocks a lot of people off kilter. Because they're not next to nature. They're not next to the spirit that moves in all things. Which is a drum that I have been beating over and over and over. It's healing. It's healing to be out in nature. It's healing to be next to the mountains, the seashore, wherever you find your heart. Could it be a place where you grew up, where there were a lot of trees and it was more country? Could it be that a place by the seashore, or a place in the desert, or a place next to a forest? You have to realize there's 7 billion plus people on the planet now, and there wasn't that many people when we were kids, not when I was a kid. Then we didn't have the internet, which just intensifies things, brings everything to your front door, compacts it all down into your head. And people, I know my heart is with the people in the Campfire Council and other kindred souls like that who are longing for a release from the insanity. I mean, everybody is going nuts because there's insanity all around them. Okay? There's noise pollution. There's noise pollution's a big one. There's stupid people. Okay, I hate to say it, but the mass of humanity is basically shit. When you grew up, if you've grown up in a generation that was after my generation, or 3 generations after my generation, you don't know what it was like to have liberty. You don't know what these kids don't know what it was like to have a good feeling without technology and iPods and all that bull crap. They don't know what it was like to just have friends and talk to each other and go out on camping trips or field trips or uh, fishing trips, hunting trips, just trips, okay? Just hiking around, tracking, having fun. Skinny dipping in a pond or stream or, you know, the old ways, you know. You don't even have drive-ins anymore. You can't even get in the back seat and make out with your girlfriend. I mean, remember when you used to go to the drive-in and put that speaker thing in your window and you forgot about it and drove off and ripped it out of the friggin' you got home and you had a drive-in speaker in your car. Either that or you did it on purpose. I mean, people, there were better times in this country. There were a lot better times. I mean, even after the genocide of all our brothers and sisters, native, indigenous people of this land, even after that, there was some good times, okay? And it just got exponentially worse. It got exponentially worse. What can I say? I'm so happy that people are starting to come into the Campfire Council, and I have plans somewhere down the road here. See, something manifested for me with this ranch, and something, you know, a dream came true for me. And no matter how long it lasts, it's still manifested, and I manifested it. So here I am in the middle of Sandy Valley in the desert. Who knows what I'm going to run into here? Who knows what I seek? Because when you get into a place like this, your powers of manifestation and your shamanistic powers blossom like a desert rose, a desert flower. And things get stronger. And my heart goes out to the people that are suffering in cities and the people that are suffering in this world because they're in a situation, almost everything is a city. I'm in a unique situation right now as I'm 50 miles from the nearest, and I just posted a picture of the mountainous area that I live in on Campfire Council. People that aren't in the Campfire Council that hear me talking about it, you can go to the links below and you'll find a whole community of people like me, because I created the Campfire Council. It was a creation of mine, another manifestation of mine that I knew people would be attracted to, and that fulfills a need of sacred tradition, older tradition, the older ways, the more simplistic ways. If you long for that, then you're one of us. If you're sick of the bullshit, the crowded conditions, the pollution, the noise pollution, the sky pollution, the pollution of people's minds by massive propaganda efforts of the mainstream thugs, okay, that stay away from TV at all costs. That's the biggest propaganda machine there is. And right now with the political situation, I'm just speaking from the heart here right now. I'm speaking from the heart. That's something I like to do. My heart goes out to all of the people out there that are in a condition where they just are not too happy right now. Not too happy about the situation that they live in. And we're all, the thing is that a lot of us are looking for a relief and a release, okay, from these conditions. And that's why people are almost hyper vigilant about world conditions, because when they see world conditions ramping up to an intensity where something's got to give, they want it to give. Everybody out there wants it to give because they feel like it will be like my book Emergence. Okay? Emergence means making a transition from one world to the next world, as the Hopi prophecy and stories indicate. Okay? Wasn't an accident I wrote that book. If you haven't read it, well, you can get it. It's still on Amazon. It's still out there. I might put some links down here. I'm not here to sell the book. I'm just talking about the book because it's close to my heart. It's close to my heart. And I feel pretty fulfilled right now. Except I'm still looking for that shamaness. If you're out there, give me a call, please. No, but seriously, I think that what we all have to realize is that these monstrous people, outlaws that are in control, they're gonna take a fall, and they're gonna bring mankind down with them. They're gonna bring you down with them. And they will get theirs one way or another. They think they're going to hide in bunkers and shit? Are you kidding me? Great Spirit isn't going to allow that to happen. It's going to come quick. Like I said in my previous video, it's going to come quick. So you have to be ready. You have to be prepared. And if you're in a city, good luck, because I was in a city for a long, long time. And a city is a mass complex of confusion and chaos. And there's so many people that it becomes a depersonalization of the spirit. Okay? You can't know what your spirit's gonna. You can't even identify with your spirit. It becomes alien to you. Your true spirit. The true spirit I'm talking about when you roamed around and felt one with nature and the spirit that moves in all things. Thunder's going to work as hard as he can on expanding this Campfire Council somehow and trying to make it a possibility for people to be out here where I am. Somehow, some way. I'm already connecting with people that are already out here, but my heart is with those people that long for some place like this, and you can manifest it. You can manifest it. And if I can manifest this, you can manifest it. And if I can manifest a bit of peace of mind, so can you. We're all creators. We're all shamans. We're all have that ability. Some of us, I feel, have a calling like myself, and have had a series of events in their lives that have developed an insight and wisdom and a power. Okay. But we all have access to it. Just like Geronimo back there behind me, my patron saint, one of them, him and Crazy Horse and a few others. Their spirit was strong. You have to strengthen your spirit so it's as strong as, look at the look on that face in the portrait behind me. Just look at it for a while. Unbending. Warriorship. Spiritual warriorship. And physical warriorship, as seen in right below the portrait of Geronimo. What's on the wall there? And these lunatics are trying to do that too. They're trying to disarm people. It ain't going to happen. This is Super Tuesday today. This is Super Tuesday. It's a big political day. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what those idiots are doing? Because they're all the same. You think you're getting a good, you think somebody is better than another, and they're all the same, cut out of the same cloth. They're all run by the same people. Got news for you. Don't buy into it at all. At all. It's all just a charade. It's all just a parade of madness and silliness. What does that have to do with medicine men? What does that have to do with tribal sacred tradition? What does that have to do with the spirit that moves in all things? What does that have to do with anything except distracting you from what is your your right to be free of all that bullshit. It's just a distraction. It's another way to distract people, to make them think like they have to put their faith in other people, to make them think like they have to give their power to other people when you have the power, baby. You, not them. And you gave it all away to them. Everybody has given their power away to these freaking maniacs that are out there destroying the planet and the earth and creating agendas that don't fit into the human being, the people of the earth, the human beings, of which, if you're hip, that's what you are. So, keep the faith, people. Harken back to a time when you had your power and you were young and you were feeling, you were sowing your seeds and you had the feeling of growth and growing like a plant, a strong plant. Don't wither and die because of the polluted atmosphere that surrounds you now. Okay? you grew up like a strong plant, and then all these weeds came in and trying to starve you out and crowd you out. Those of us who are in the know, those of us who are beyond the, have insight beyond the comprehension of most people, or attain to that, at least attain to having comprehension beyond most people. Become a true earth person. Become a follower of indigenous sacred tradition and spirituality. Become one with everything that is the cosmos, everything that matters, nature, the cosmos, Inyan, the mountains, Mapia, the clouds, the spirit of the four directions, the Wakanyan. Keep that in your mind foremost. Don't ever let go of it. Live it day to day, no matter where you are, and connect with that spirit and not the darkness that surrounds that. I got to reach down here for a minute. I was getting so excited here that I dropped my mouse for the computer, and I know that I'm coming to the end of this video. I hate to end it because I'm kind of on a roll here, and I know that the Spirit is moving me to let you people know that it's not hopeless. It's not hopeless. It seems hopeless, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. But it's not. And I'm here to raise your spirits, and I'm here to tell you that it's all within you. You have the power to change things in your life and manifest things in your life, just like Geronimo did. He had the power. Dagehogate, he had the power given to him from Yusin. There are powers out there that are stronger than what you can believe. You just have to tie into them. You have to hook up to them. You have to channel them. You have to be a channel. Okay? That's the shaman's way. The shaman's way is to be a channel. And no, I'm not talking about channels on a TV. I'm talking about channeling energy through yourself from a higher source and letting it direct you and your life so that you can manifest the things that you want, so you can walk outside the realm of chaos. You can circumvent it. You can flow through it like water. You can flow through it like a hot knife through butter, baby. So keep the faith, people. I'm here for you, and I'll be back. But I urge everybody in the Campfire Council to even strengthen its, even more than it is, and to welcome the new members and to become a cohesive unit of energy. Because believe me, the spirit that moves in all things, and grandfather, grandmother, takes note of people who are unified in such a manner. All right, I'm out of here right now. This is Thunder. I got to say adios. Talk to you later.